When we talk about vision, it can mean so many things. We hear a lot of people having vision board parties, and in movies, we have seen them having these big visions or vision books, and that they base their lives based off of what they have in their vision book. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of explore what it means to have a vision for your marriage. So tonight, as we go forth in this discussion, the topics that we are going to discuss are, first, what does it mean to have a vision for our marriage? I mean, is that just to get the things that we want, or just exactly what does it mean to have a vision for our marriage? Then we're going to talk about why we even need to have a vision for our marriage. Some of us have been married for a very long time and successful and happy. So why in the world would we need to have a vision now? And then finally, we're going to talk about how we can start forming a vision for our marriages. So I think the best place for us to start the discussion is with, what is vision? What does it mean to have a vision in general? So I decided to go to dictionary.com and see what they had to say. The first definition that they had was the act or power of anticipating that which will or may come to be. So the key for us is, when you have a vision for your marriage, you can't just think of it as a wish, or, oh, that would be a dream, but I know it'll never happen. We have to anticipate it and be excited about it and be willing to work for it. So it's not just some pie in the sky, oh, it'll never happen. When we have a vision for our marriage, we have to believe that it will actually come to be. The second part of the definition that dictionary.com had was that it's an experience in which a personage, thing, or event appears vividly or credibly to the mind, although not actually present. So when we're talking about marriage, when we put those two together, yes, we come up with this wonderful vision of what we want our marriage to be, and we're excited and we're anticipating it. But we have to be able to maintain that, and it has to still be real to us, even though we may not actually be in that place. And I think that's where a lot of us struggle at different times in our marriages, is with holding on to the fact that, okay, this, right here where we are now, this is not where we will always be. So when we have a vision, it makes it easier to hold on to. But sometimes, even with a vision, we can still struggle. And for those of you that have been around Wonderful Wives for a while, you know that we've said that this is definitely not Bible study, but the Bible is the source of wisdom that we have for everything that we do. So the Bible tells us that faith comes by hearing. So when we have a vision and the vision has not yet come, that requires a little bit of faith that it will come. So if faith comes by hearing, then I think vision comes by hearing. So when we take the time to make a vision and have a vision for our marriage, we also have to have a vision statement. And when I thought of a vision statement, the first thing that popped into my mind is that many businesses and organizations have vision statements. So again, I went to the internet, and I went this time to businessdictionary.com to see how they define vision statement. And what they said was, it's an aspirational description of what an organization would like to achieve or accomplish in the midterm or long-term future. It's intended to serve as a clear guide for choosing current and future courses of action. So if we took that same definition and made it more towards our marriages, then it would read something like, an aspirational description of what we expect to achieve or accomplish in our marriages in the midterm or long-term future. It will be a clear guide for choosing current and future courses of action. Now, the key words that I see there, especially when it has to do with marriages, is an aspirational description. So when you have an aspiration for something, that's a strong desire. So we can't just write a vision statement and have it be just blah and plain. This needs to be something that we have a strong desire for, and we need to put some thought into it. And the other key is that we have to expect that it's going to happen. That goes back to having that faith in what we're saying. We have to expect that it is going to happen, that what we have visioned is going to happen. And then the other key that I see in this definition is that it's a clear guide for choosing current and future courses of action. So that means that we don't make decisions based on what we see or what's going on in our marriage today. We make decisions based on the vision that we have for where our marriage is going. So when we make a statement, it should be positive, it should be aspirational. We should have just a longing and a yearning to achieve that vision. And we should make the choices that will get us there. So the next question that came to my mind was, why do we need to have a vision anyway? And one of the main reasons that we need to have the vision is because it requires us to take some time and really think about where we are in our marriage right now. Well, for everyone that has come in, maybe since we started, when you come in with video and audio. So if you're on your phone, if you could please mute your phone. And if you came in through the app, there's a menu at the bottom, and you'll see a microphone and a video camera. If you click on the microphone, that will silence you. And if you click on the video camera, that'll turn your video off. Thank you. Okay, so back to why have a vision anyway? Because when we take the time to come up with a vision, it requires us to take time to really look at, okay, where are we in this marriage? What do we have going on? Is there something that we can take to the next level? Because even those of us that have great marriages, there's always a next level. So the vision isn't just for people that may be struggling in a marriage right now. No matter where we are in our marriage, there is always a next level. So when we take the time to write out a vision, it requires us to really look at and not ignore the places that we know could be a little better, but we just choose not to deal with it. This whole exercise of vision will make us sit still and really identify those areas that we can take to the next level. But not only that, it also provides a tool for us to measure the progress that we're making in our marriage. And the thing that's key about that is we want to make sure that our marriages are moving and not becoming stagnant. Because you always see on TV, what was that show? Married with Children, I think is what it was, with the Bundys. They had been married forever, but they were miserable. It was like they were just stuck. And so many marriages, the people are miserable. And okay, the Bundys were over the top, but there's so many people that we see married for a long time, but they're not happy, they're not growing. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want to be that statistic of people growing apart as the years go on. So when you have a vision, then you have a tool to measure. You are actually looking at what you want to change or improve in your marriage. And when you make that positive statement, that gives you something that you can go back to and look at and say, you know what? We said we were going to do this 2 months ago, but we still haven't done it. So what are we going to do? Okay, we had a new person join. For the person that just came in, if you could please mute your phone or mute your, in the app, there's a tool at the bottom. There's a menu at the bottom. And if you click on the microphone, that will mute you. Thank you. Okay, so for those of us that have been married, especially for those that have been married for a while, the question has to be coming across our mind, okay, will a vision really make a difference? If things are going bad, you know what, it's just so bad, we can't get any better. What would a vision really do? Or for those of us that it's going great, how could a vision really impact our marriage because it's already great? Well, I am so glad you asked, because I saw a video recently by a comedian by the name of Michael Jr. And he has a segment that he does on YouTube that's Something Break. And someone posted it on Facebook, and I don't typically sit there and watch long videos, but when I did see this one, I couldn't help but think about this whole thought of vision in marriage. So now I want to take the time to play just a portion of this video for you, and then we'll discuss it once we're done.
Yo, what's up, YouTubelies? This is comedian Michael Jr. I just did a. Yes, sir. All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? We didn't plan this. Just so y'all know, we didn't plan this at all. I'm just randomly talking. Go ahead. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, once you give me the version, is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about, just see if that exists. Let me see what you got. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Right now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
Okay, now that man sounded wonderful the first time he sang, and you know, the people clapped politely, and he did what he was asked to do, and he did it well. But that second time, after he had some motivation to help him tap into what he was really doing, and he had some, I would dare say, vision behind it, he was amazing. And you can see right in where the video stopped, people even got up out of their seats to come and hug him, because it was so much different. It was the same song, but once he had some motivation behind it, it turned into something completely more wonderful than when it began. And that is how I see having a vision for your marriage. I think that's what having a vision for your marriage can do. Even though it can be fine, even though you may not argue a lot, you may be okay. You may even like your husband. You may even be madly in love with your husband, but with a vision to bring you together on one accord in so many different areas, just think of how amazing your marriage could be. It can go from bad to better, from better to even better, from great to amazing. I believe that's what having a vision can do. So the next question is, how can I start? Okay, I should have a vision. What does it mean? How can I even start to form this vision? I think that the first step is to develop generalized areas of your marriage and it'll help you focus, because sometimes things could either be so great that we wouldn't know where to start, or it might just feel like everything is wrong. And then we would just start listing out everything that we found bad or less than what we wanted. So develop generalized areas of the marriage that will help you to focus. And we developed some for this webinar, and we'll talk about some more later. Oh no. The next step is to visualize the perfect scenario for the specific area. And I put perfect in quotation marks because nothing is actually going to be perfect, but it can be perfect for what we want at the time, because it will change. And I said to make it two-sided because a lot of times we just think about what our husbands need to do. But really, there's some things that we could probably perfect a little more as well. So develop the general areas, visualize the perfect scenario for that area, and then create a positive, measurable statement that expresses a step towards that perfect state. So what I mean by that is, come up with something good to say. Don't mention any of the negative, because remember, faith comes by hearing. So we are going to speak the positive, but it also needs to be measurable, which requires that it just be a step. If we feel that we don't communicate at all with our husbands, then just saying to communicate better, that's not a measurable statement. It needs to be something specific enough that you'll know when you have achieved it, and then you can up the stakes a little bit more to get to that next level. So as we go forward with how to start forming a vision, I've made a few slides that are come off of my personal vision board for my marriage. And just as a warning, I'm a little silly and a little creative, so I have put myself and my family into a lot of the pictures. So don't laugh. So if we're talking about the area of communication in our marriage, then we want to have a picture of what the perfect communication between our husbands would be. So we could ask ourselves questions like, are we able to discuss everything? Do we avoid some topics of discussion? Are we operating on the same page, or are we doing our own thing? How do we handle disagreements? Are we arguing? Are we fussing and fighting? What's going on there? So a positive statement could be, we will openly and calmly discuss issues rather than argue or ignore them. In the area of finances, again, you want to create a picture of that ideal condition for the financial aspects of your marriage. So you would ask questions like, what's the state of our finances? Where are we? Are we doing well? Are we living paycheck to paycheck? What is the state of our finances? Do we have a plan? Where do we want to be in 5 years? what is our ultimate financial goal? And a statement could be, we will work together to create a financial plan. If we're talking about intimacy, we could ask, do we have us time? Do we make time to have more than superficial conversations? And I have found that most couples don't really take the time to sit back and have anything other than conversations that are for day to day. Then we could also ask, do we maintain our physical connection on a regular basis? And I know you all know that what I'm really trying to say there about the physical connection. So we won't even go into that. But a statement could be, at least once a month, we will sit together and discuss our personal challenges, concerns, dreams, etc. And finally, for family, what are our family codes of conduct? What's acceptable in our family and what is unacceptable? What are our family goals? Do we have a strategic plan to help every family member reach their potential? Because we have to work together for it. So a positive statement might be, once a month, we will come together as a family to discuss individual and corporate goals. And then finally, and one that is very important for the success of the others, is that we have to have a personal picture of what it means for us individually to be a wonderful wife. Because what I need to be wonderful in my marriage may not be the exact same things that you need to work on. So when I created this page for my vision board, I went out on Google and found different pictures and sayings that meant a lot for me. And my personal challenge is my mouth. I've gotten a lot better with choosing my words, but sometimes it's not what I say, but it's how I say it. So for me, my personal statement is, I will choose positive words and a genuine and sincere tone. So those are just a few examples of the kinds of questions that you can ask yourself as you're trying to develop your vision. And several times as we've gone through this, I have mentioned my vision board. And I know a lot of people are probably asking, do I really have to go through all the trouble of finding all those pictures and making a vision board? And my answer to that is yes. Yes, you do, because you need to be able to see. Faith comes by hearing, but many of us are visual, and I am definitely a visual person. And just looking at a picture can be so inspiring. So yes, you absolutely do have to make a vision board. And in case you think that this is something new and that I am totally out in left field, like I said earlier, this is not Bible study, but the Bible is our source of wisdom. So let's look at Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. And this is from the Message Bible. And then God answered, write this, write what you see. Write it out in big block letters so that it can be read on the run. This vision message is a witness pointing to what's coming. It aches for the coming. It can hardly wait, and it doesn't lie. If it seems slow in coming, wait. It's on its way. It will come right on time. So what does that have to do with the vision board? Well, one of the key phrases in there for me was so that it can be read on the run. So that means while you're going about doing whatever it is that you're doing, even if you have it in the house, when you go by it, when your husband has gotten on your last nerve, you walk by and you see that vision board and it's like, you know what, where we are right now, it's not going to be like this always. Or, and as I have done a couple times, maybe said something a little off the chain, and then gone by the vision board and I was like, oh, that's right, I was supposed to do a little better with that. So not only can it just give you strength to keep moving forward, but it's pointing to what's coming. It's a visual of where you're trying to go. It just looking at it can be inspiring. And if it seems slow, just wait. That's what it says right there. Just wait, and it will come right on time. So when we take the time to consider the current state of our marriage, when we take the time to identify areas within our marriage that we can take to the next level, when we take the time to construct positive statements to support our next level areas, and finally, yes, make the visual that helps us keep our eyes on the prize for where we're going. When we take the time to do all of that, our marriages will be like the song that was sung in the video. Beautifully written, but amazing when executed with purpose and vision. That's what makes all the difference. It's the difference between our marriages just being or being more than we could ever imagine. The difference between us, getting up and looking like, he's still here, and good morning, I actually get to spend my day married to you. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage was created to be beautiful. And when we take the time to invest in it and to examine what we have been given and look for ways to make it better, it can only get better. So, yes, it does take a lot of work to create a vision for our marriages, but we would love to support you as you go through the process of creating the vision for your marriage. And when I say we, I mean the entire Wonderful Wives team. We have planned out the entire year for 2016. It is our year of vision. We will be meeting bi-monthly at PG County Sports and Learning Complex in Landover, Maryland. And we already have our dates set for January and March, but we are shooting to meet typically on the third Fridays, and we will meet through September. And then in October and November, we are planning an awesome retreat. We're calling it a vision retreat, and it will be for the couples, for both the husband and the wife. And we are planning activities that for couples that may not have started planning their vision. There'll be some things for them. For couples that have spent the entire year developing a vision, there will be activities for them. And we are just believing that it is going to be an awesome, awesome time for our marriages. When we meet, we will discuss having our personal visions and how we can enhance our skills as a wife, and just to see what it really looks like for us, because what it takes for me, it might not be for you. So we will discuss having a personal vision. We are going to discuss strategies for improving communication. We have a financial expert that is a part of our board, and she is going to present some strategic ways of organizing our finances. And then we are definitely going to talk about developing a deeper sense of intimacy, because no matter how awesome our marriage is, it can always get better, especially in the area of intimacy. And finally, we're going to discuss having a vision for the entire family and how each person in the family can have a vision and have a collective vision for the family. To help support this, we are going to develop what we're calling sister circles. Sister circles will be small groups of women that come together to support one another as we go through this process of creating visions. Because, anytime you try to do something good or something that will make something better, there's always opposition, there's always challenges. So the purpose of the sister circles, because we have such a short amount of time, only 2 hours when we meet as a large group, the sister circles will come together, and it's a place where you can open up maybe a little bit more, because it'll be fewer women. You can feel more comfortable with that. But it's just a place where we can come together, be us, support one another, and just be together as sisters as we try to better our marriages. Each sister circle will determine when they meet and for how long they meet. But they will meet at least once between each of our group meetings. So if you are interested in becoming a part of the Sister Circle, you can go to our website and click on our Contact Us page, or you can send us an email at www@wonderfulwives.org. And when you send us the message, please be sure to let us know where you live and the best days and times for you to meet. And if it turns out that there's not enough people in your area, we are willing to create virtual groups just so that everyone has a place that they can come together and share and be supported. So if you would like to learn more about Wonderful Wives in general, we invite you to go to our website, which is, once again, www.wonderfulwives.org. We have a blog where we have posted many discussion questions. We are going to post the video of this webinar on there. We have a description of what it means to be a wonderful wife. We have a listing of, because wonderful is an acronym, we list out, what each of the letters in the acronym stand for. So please just take some time and check out our website. And if there are any questions, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Our phone number is on the website. Please email us or direct message us on Facebook. We are Wonderful Wives on Facebook. Anytime that you need to get in contact with us, please email, Facebook, or call us, and we would be happy to respond. So I want to personally thank you so very much for joining our conversation about having a vision for our marriages. I look forward to being able to spend more time with you. I look forward to meeting some of you. But please stay in contact, be on the lookout, constantly check our website and our Facebook page for upcoming events, and we look forward to the next time.